Today I'd like to share with you how to make this delicious spelt flatbread called
Hönökaka.
I'm doing it with Dinkel or spelt flour today. It's a combination of white and whole grain, and I've got two ways to do it. I've got a thin way and a thick way. So if you want to see how to make my Swedish flatbread, come with me and let's see. In my large mixing bowl, I'm going to add all the ingredients. Today I'm going to do 530 grams of white spelt flour, which is almost 4 cups, just a little bit under. 1 cup of whole grain spelt flour. And you can mix and match whatever flour you've got on hand. A tablespoon of sugar, that's optional, you can swap that out for sweetener. 2 teaspoons of salt, and 2 teaspoons or 2.5 teaspoons of 7 grams of dry yeast. Depending how level your teaspoons are, just whisk that together. And we're making this recipe suitable for anyone who's lactose intolerant or vegan. So I'm adding warm to touch water, 330 grams, 1.5 cups. And I've got rapeseed oil, you can do olive oil if you like, 75 grams or 3/4 cup. Or you can do melted butter, like vegan butter or lactose-free butter. And then we're just going to mix that all together for about 2 minutes on low, and then I bump it up higher, so it's about 5 minutes. And then when the bowl comes clean and the dough moves to the centre, we know it's done. So before we started filming, I've brushed oil in this medium-sized Pyrex bowl. I think it's a 20 centimetre or 2 litre. I always transfer my dough into that and cover it. I just like the size of this. I can tell when it's to the top that it's ready. I'm going to pop this to be higher now. Or you can just leave it in this bowl and cover it. This method just works for me. And if you look at your mixture and you think, oh, Sue, I don't know, I think it looks a bit dry, you can add a little bit more water. It also depends on the brand of flour, the humidity. Lots of factors can change the way the dough looks. So I did this same dough 2 days ago and it didn't need any more water, but today it needs a little bit more water. So I'm going to put another, maybe dash, like a tablespoon of water, and that looks better. My bowl's almost clean. And I should have said, if you don't have a stand mixer, you can just do it by hand. I'm just going to pop a bit of water on my hands. It's always good to oil your hands or put water on, and then the dough's much easier to get out, and then you can clean your dough hook. I'm just going to transfer it into this bowl. Next step, we need to cover it. Use plastic wrap, a cloth. I've got this silicone cover, which I love. It's just the perfect size for my bowl. And then I just pop another cloth on top, and I rest it for 30 to 45 minutes. It's just gone 30 minutes, and I'm just checking my dough. And it's risen a lot, but I'm going to let it rise for another 15 minutes. And I've just popped my oven onto 270 degrees Celsius, and I've got a fan on there, so it's going to be nice and hot. If you've got a baking stone or steel, you can use that, and it's even better. So I'm just going to rest that for another 15 minutes, and then we'll start dividing and rolling. My dough looks fantastic. Look at that. I'm going to dust my bench with some rice flour. This is what I like to use when I'm making spelt bread. It's a bit cheaper than the spelt flour. So pop all the dough onto the floured bench. Got my scales here with a little plate with flour, and I'm just going to weigh it all. So it's 1,100 grams. Hey Siri, what's 1,100 divided by 8?
1,100 divided by 8 is 137.5.
Okay, I'm going to do 8 breads today. A lot of the times the Swedish recipes have them super large breads, but I like them a bit smaller. We divide them and have them in a toast or pop them in the toaster for breakfast. So I'll see if I can get 137 per ball. So some of them a little bit over and some of them a little bit less, but that's near enough. Depending on my mood, sometimes I'm super accurate with every single one and sometimes I just eyeball it. But I just wanted to show you my method on how I determine what size to do. And also I find that this size will fit better on my trays, depending on what trays you've got in your oven. Okay, I'm going to roll the first one for you. Put that aside. So I'm just flattening it with my hands like I'm doing like pizza. And then grab the roller. So that's a good size. And then I just pop little holes through all of it. Now I found this skewer was better than doing it with a fork. And I've got some prepared trays behind me. I'm just going to pop it on those. Now, spelt flour is not as stretchy as regular flour, so you will find that it's not as elastic. It doesn't matter if your shapes aren't perfect. And putting the holes in is a traditional way, and I'm not sure if they have a special equipment to do this. If there's any Swedes out there, let me know if there's a special tool that I can buy. So they're ready. I'm just going to cover them with my cloth and set them aside for 10 minutes and I'll do the rest. Hey Siri, set a time for 10 minutes. I'm going to roll these ones a bit smaller so they're a bit thicker because my tray's a bit smaller. And I'll just show you the difference, what happens when you roll them thick or small. Two smaller ones just sit on my tray. Now these all turn out fluffier, and I just wanted to show you the difference so you can gauge which one you prefer. Sorry. I'm going to bake this in my warm oven, 270 degrees C fan, for 5 minutes. I'm just going to do it until it's lightly golden. And I've just popped it right in the middle shelf. And grab a cooling rack to put it on when it comes out. And I've got a little bottle of water here, and I'm going to spray it with water when it comes out, or you can brush it with water. That just keeps it really moist. And then we're going to recover it with this. So look how good that looks. Then that's the timer going off, and then we just spray it. And so they're nice and soft. We cover it with this. All the baking's finished. A little tip, don't be tempted to put 2 trays in at once. I tried this and it didn't really work. They ended up taking longer anyway, so it's better just to do 1 tray at a time. And I want to show you, these are all the larger ones I did, which are quite flat. And I'm just going to break it open for you. Have a look at that. You've got this delicious soft bread. It's probably a little bit thick for a wrap, but it's great. You can put it together like a sandwich. We just have it as an open sandwich and put spreads or salad things on top. Absolutely delicious. I'll leave them in a tin overnight, and then we just pop them in the toaster just to warm them up. You can probably freeze them as well. We eat them all within 2 days, so we don't freeze them. And this is my other tray cooling. I just wanted to show you this. So that's slightly fatter. I'm just going to break it open with my hands. So I'd probably do a knife if I was serving it. Check that out. Look at that. So because it's slightly thicker and smaller, I've wrecked it now. You could probably, my husband likes slicing it open through the centre and filling it. So it's like a little pocket bread, but it's really soft and fluffy. That's my Hönökaka, Swedish flatbread that I've shared with you today. Really traditional here, and it's absolutely delicious. It's my husband's new favourite spelt bread. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe today, and don't forget, got flour all over my hands. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here today, pop a comment below. I love getting your messages, and share it with a friend. And if you do bake it, let me know what you think. And don't forget, stick around because I'll pop some other spelt bread recipes up above. Another shout out, I'm doing a special spelt project. I'm looking for volunteers to answer some questions that I have regarding this new project. So if you want to help me out, I'll pop the link below to an email, and you can email me and show me that you're interested in helping me. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Hej då from Sweden.